So how are we gonna fuck this intro up? We seem to be pretty good at that.
Remember, silence. I need a silence gap. Because immediately after I told you that last week, you're like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Hi guys, and welcome back. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
I won't lie. I did forget the second you told me. It does make sense though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deadpool, right, was the first Deadpool film, the second Deadpool film, and was there a third? Was there a third?
You just jumping into the topics. We haven't done the intro. We got to do the intro, dude.
All right. Them films were just wall to wall swearing, gore, ninjas, head chops, and they did fantastic. You know, Marvel's taken. They've got both ends of the fucking spectrum. They've got Captain Marvel, and they've got fucking Deadpool. And in between, stuff happened.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Rated R podcast, where Bamm is going to join me and make fun of my intro.
Well, at least this time I didn't want to peel off my eyelids. Hello, guys. Yes. Hello. Oh, spiffing. What? Chop, chop, and whatever other fancy word. Whatever, yeah. Yes, guys, my name is Bamm Havoc, and tonight you guys are joining myself and Draconis for a fireside chat. We have been sat here about an hour now trying to figure out what we're going to talk about. Yes, that's what we've been doing.
Well, actually, the hilarious thing is we've been talking about all kinds of things while trying to figure out what to talk about, which seems a bit oxymoronic, but...
Yeah, and we didn't press record because there were some very good topics in there. Good topics.
Cider,
bacon, beer...
motorcycles,
yeah, helmets. I got a helmet here, yes. My
House
instructor
repairs.
broke his leg today. Poor fucker. Wasn't my fault he broke his leg. Renovations, concrete.
Speaking of renovations and construction, once again, you may hear construction sounds in the background because right on the other side of that wall, there's some concrete work going on. So.
Yes. Yeah, you might have heard it in the last episode.
Well, in the last episode, they were banging in the forums. On this one, they poured the concrete earlier, and they're smoothing it out. So there might be some scraping sounds. So, yes, I don't have... I was going to say, like, a victim in the walls, but that sounds really bad, like scraping at the walls.
This is going sideways even now. This is going to go sideways quickly. Yeah. Right.
So, Bamm,
yes,
in his infinite wisdom, wanted us to sit down and talk about, our thoughts and feelings, our opinions on the Marvel versus DC movie franchises, and kind of where we think those are at.
Okay, I'll put the get out of jail free clause right now for the pair of us, Drake. It is just an opinion. None of this is fact. There are some bitterly divided opinions. I know that I'm doing this to irritate TJ because TJ is our comic book aficionado and he hasn't been around for the past few months. So I'm gonna basically talk a whole lot of shit that'll piss TJ off so much that he'll come back to correct me because clearly I am incorrect, because my opinions on comic books and DC and Marvel and all that stuff very different to TJ's.
TJ has a much more well-read and thought-out response to a lot of this stuff. He's kind of studied comic books. That's been, his major passion for a long time. And yeah, he's been missing for a while. That his work has had him traveling and doing all kinds of stuff that's just kept him super busy. And I know I keep saying I'm going to get him back. I am going to get him back. We've talked about him coming out here. We just need to get it scheduled. And, we got to try and make him get out here a little more regularly before the end of the year because he's getting married this year. So.
The ball and chain become a prison cell very quickly.
Yeah, no, I actually, one of the really cool things about his significant others.
Oh.
No. One of the really cool things about his significant others is she's into a lot of the same stuff too. So that's actually really cool. But yeah,
cool.
our thoughts on Marvel and DC. Maybe we'll make TJ cringe just enough. He'll feel a disturbance in the force, and he'll come out here to correct it.
Yeah, he's got to correct it because, like I said, my opinions are very different to his. And like Drac said, Birds of Prey just launched, and from my take on it and the trailers I've seen, it's a villainess of the DC world coming out to wreck people's shit, and I'm keen for it. I am game for it. I just hope to God it's not like the other mess that was launched, or I'm not saying the Joker. That film, excellent. I haven't got a single problem with that film. If they could tie it into into the other freaking Batman films the way I'd hoped, it would have been even freaking better. Yeah.
I did have one issue with the Joker. A lot of the stuff that there were things that they did with that movie that I thought were really interesting, and I liked the twist that once they show you that some of the stuff you've seen. Should I give the spoiler warning at this point? Does it matter? I don't know. We won't be talking about Birds of Prey today because neither one of us have actually seen that one yet. But when you see the twist that some of the things that you've seen on screen didn't actually happen, they only happened in his mind. I think the smart thing about the way that they presented that was that if you actually keep that in mind, you then begin to wonder how much of the things that happen after that actually are happening and whether or not they're just happening in his mind. But you figure some of that stuff does actually happen, but the part about it that and this was something that TJ made an excellent point about, all props to him, none of the stuff he does is funny.
No, exactly.
But the Joker is funny. He's a total psychotic, but his gags are funny, and none of the stuff that they did in the movie. See, when we start talking about this difference, this major difference between Marvel and DC, a lot of times I think it comes down to this perception that the DC movies are dark and gritty and serious, and the Marvel movies are just, haha and fun and comical, and there is some elements of that in my mind to this, and I do think that a lot of times that's, why the Marvel movies are probably a little more popular. They're very well produced, but they're well-rounded. There's a lot of action. There's humor. They have their serious moments, but they don't take themselves too seriously. And I think that that's been part of the problem, at least in my mind, is that the DC movies Warner Brothers seem to think they all have to be a variety of different Batman movies.
Okay. Can I point out where you're wrong in all this?
You can point
because
out
you
your
are wrong.
Opinion.
DC is more serious. DC is grit. DC is, oh shit, there's some serious consequences. It is real. Batman the Animated Series is, for me, the quintessential cartoon, because when I was a kid, that's what I watched. When I was a kid, I watched Batman? I read Batman. Okay, I read Spider-Man too. Alright, Batman, Spider-Man were my two go-to comics. Iron Man, I watched that cartoon as well. I'm going based with the cartoon show because I don't think the comic book I don't think the cartoons or the films do the comic books any justice, because I think there's a lot more action that happens in the comic books because of our imaginations of what actually comes out in the film. The Marvel universe compared to the DC universe, everyone's trying to sort of do this sort of 10-year plan based on one film. Everyone's trying that now because it happened with Marvel, because of the first Iron Man film. But think about it. Marvel tried and failed with Hulk. Twice, I think it was with the Hulk, and failed. Iron Man came out, and it was a great freaking success. And they still managed to shoehorn the Hulk into the whole thing. Excuse me. So if they can get it right with Batman, build off that universe, because
but not every character in DC needs to be Batman-esque.
No, but they're not Batman-esque. DC's tried with Superman. Superman failed. DC's tried with, I say DC, alright. They've tried with Superman, and it succeeded for a time. But then Bane came out, and I think that was just a long-winded damn film. So long-winded, it could have been over a lot quicker. And I think that
well, no, okay,
film
so
killed that
you're
franchise.
you're jumping between different times.
Oh,
in
yes,
which,
I am.
Yeah, so you're talking about the Christopher
irrelevant.
Reeves.
Yes.
No, you're talking about the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
Yes.
Which the first few of those were excellent.
No.
Some of the later ones,
No.
for the time, they were really... Yeah, for the time, they were good.
Dude, the old Superman films do not hold up nowadays. They do
No, I'm not saying they hold
hold
up. You have to take into consideration when these things were made. You have to take that into consideration. You can't. You can't compare a movie from the 1920s to Iron Man and say that the movie from the 1920s is crap because it doesn't have any CGI. That doesn't work.
Okay, I see what you're saying, right? But then put that into the comic book reference and whatever have you. The things that happen in the comic books can be directly translated into today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you can't take a movie because the movie's dated.
The version of Superman that Christopher Reeve played was far more close to the comic book version of who Superman is as a character than what they did.
In some respects, yes, I agree.
Than what they did with Henry Cavill.
No,
his acting.
Jesus, no. Let's not go there. No. God. No.
His acting is not the problem.
His acting is not the problem.
It was the script and the story that they were telling.
Everything else was the problem. The actors were fine.
I really like him as Superman. I'd like to see him more as Superman, but just with a better story.
I don't disagree with that. I actually don't disagree. The Batman versus Superman, I know what it'll like, in that 15-minute fight sequence just sounded like two guys shagging each other. If you turned the TV off or turned away from it and just listened to the sound effects, it sounded like two guys shagging. It did.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to get more masculine with your turtle sex sounds.
Dick. Dick.
No, you know what?
Dick.
That was a conversation I remember I had with TJ a little bit too, and he made a very excellent point about why the fight between Iron Man and Captain America works so much better than the fight between Batman and Superman.
Better.
And it's because you've got a lot of backstory and you've got a lot of drama and stuff, and they built to that point.
Yes.
Whereas with Batman versus Superman, they're just trying to throw you right into it.
Yes.
Without a lot of the build up to that point.
Yes.
And on top of that, another thing that bothered me about it was that the characters were so far from who they were, or who they are supposed to be. There was a lot of jokes going around about, Ben Affleck was playing Bat Trump, against immigrants and all that stuff. And it was just, it's the whole thing. I mean, it is funny to laugh at.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see that joke. Yes.
But when you look at the stuff and you talk about Batman the Animated Series and you look at some of the DC animated movies, which I think the animated movies that DC does are excellent.
Excellent. The Killing Joke.
When Batman goes,
the Justice League.
Well, when Batman goes toe to toe against Superman, it's not because Superman's from another planet. It's not because he's afraid of him or because he's an alien or his powers. Batman's done the research. The only reason in the cartoons that I've ever seen him go against Superman is because something has affected Superman to the point where Superman is attacking them, like red kryptonite, for instance, or magic, or something like that. And Batman is still defending, we'll say Earth or another planet or whatnot. He's not just going after him because he doesn't know who he is and he might be dangerous someday. So these characters, they were so far from who they really are, or who they should have been portrayed as. And yeah, the story wasn't. Don't even get me started on the Martha debacle.
Don't kill Lois Lane. That's all I learned from Batman. Superman. Don't kill Lois Lane, because Superman turns into a twat. And then Batman has to become the rebel leader. No, look, seriously, DC needs to be gritty. It needs to be 50s Art Deco, whatever have you, right? That's in my mind, that's where it needs to be. Gritty, sort of just post World War II, that sort of thing, maybe pre, whatever, around sort of there. Whereas Marvel, I think I've done it much better because, like you said, they've built a backstory. Iron Man went to Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 went to Thor. Thor went to this. They went to that. We're getting a Black Widow film coming out this year sometime. Is it this year? Yep. I'm watching that.
Well, is it? Yeah, I think it is.
I think it is this year. Dude, I'm watching that because how freaking yes, I want to know more about the Black fucking Widow, because damn, she's a kicks ass, man. I want to seriously. That chick can tear many people's asses wide open. I want to see that one. I want to see that film. There's a couple other films from Marvel coming out now. I want to see a bit more about the Hawk. Is it the Hawk? No, the Falcon. Sorry. I want to see more about that. More about him.
Oh yeah, the TV series they're doing on Disney Plus, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes,
that ought to be pretty good too.
I want to see that.
I'm curious even to see WandaVision. For me that's a curiosity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's I'm not super excited to see it, but I am curious to see where they go with it.
Out of all the films that DC have done, is the best one, like you said, Wonder, which just put me thinking, is Wonder Woman. It's a bad film, but it's the best one that DC have put out. And if they built on that and then built the franchise on that film, instead of just going Wonder Woman, Justice League. Okay. So Wonder Woman, Batman goes to Superman goes to Fishman. That's Aquaman, I know, before you shoot me. And, Aquaman goes to... So I want to see the origin stories of freaking Cyborg, man. Dude,
well,
that
they
is...
did that a little bit.
What's an origin... 20 fucking... No.
Yeah,
that is... No.
But no, I think
Bollocks.
Originally... I thought... Didn't they plan to do a Cyborg movie, but it got scrapped?
They should have done it. Because that would have been
but that
a
was
father and
the
his
whole
son.
problem.
His father saves his son.
Yeah.
His son then becomes this hero, to honor his father. And dude, that would have been a fucking fantastic film. And that actually could have come on after Wonder Woman.
But see,
Wonder
this
Woman
is
with
exactly
the
the point.
Yeah. Dude.
This is exactly the point that TJ had made earlier, which I think is a very valid point, was that Marvel did it smartly, where they built up to that, where DC was like, oh my god, this is so successful, let's just throw Justice League at him, and then we'll do the solo movies. And it doesn't work as well, because you don't have that same kind of emotional connection to the characters in these stories. I can remember when Civil War came out,
Jeez, that was
Captain
a good
America
film.
Civil War.
That was a good film.
But the thing was, it was one of those things where you had people that were like, oh yeah, I'm Team Iron Man, or I'm Team Cap. Like, people were picking sides before they even saw the film. And you don't have any of that with DC.
I was Team Captain, eh?
So was I.
Shit, I was Team Captain because of Bucky. It wasn't Bucky's fault, but shit, I was Team Captain. Yeah.
I mean, you completely understand the two arguments. You can completely understand why Tony is paranoid and why he's doing these things.
Tony was distraught about his dad getting murdered. Tony was fucking devastated, all right, because his mother died. And the fact that she didn't die through old age, she was murdered. Oh, mate.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Dude,
yeah, no, I was talking about the arguments that they were
man.
having even before the end of the movie when he finds that out. But yeah, that's
heart-wrenching, man. But again, they could have done some of that in Marvel. And again, I know I said previously that Marvel seems to be sort of the lighter sort of fantasy, airy-fairy, bright, fluffy, pink, and all that stuff. I agree with what you said, that they've done it smartly. They've built it up. They've invested into the characters. They've built the characters' stories. They've tweaked Tony's persona through all these other bits and pieces they've done. Thor's interactions with the Hulk. That's a funny one to see. Ragnarok, I didn't care much for that film, but they need to build more on.
Fun.
Oh no. Iron Man 3 was better than Ragnarok, and I didn't like Iron Man 3.
Oh, fuck you, no. Iron Man 3 is the only movie I've almost walked out in.
They didn't need to do an Iron Man 3.
No.
They didn't need to do it.
No. You know what? Okay. After this, we'll jump back to the Wonder Woman thing. But Iron Man 3, that whole thing with Ben Kingsley being the fake Mandarin pissed me off.
Dude.
Because the Mandarin is in, like, to me, growing up as a kid, watching the cartoons and seeing that the comics and stuff, it was always this interesting, because the Mandarin used to be magic. Then I think it evolved into alien technology.
Science. They had to bring it down to
yeah,
earth and make it
but
science. Yeah.
but when I was a kid, the Mandarin was all about magic.
And the Mandarin was Iron Man's biggest foe. Mm.
Yes, and so there was always this interesting like subtext argument about science versus magic, because Iron Man is very sciencey and the Mandarin was. So here I am thinking, oh shit, we're gonna get this on the big screen and we're gonna see finally see some more magical stuff happen. Like the stuff in Thor that kind of hinted at it a little bit when Thor is talking to somebody and he says, oh yeah, you used to call it magic, now you would call it science. It's just things that you haven't figured out how to do yet. And yeah, okay, any science we don't understand may appear to be magic. I get that. But, man, I don't know. I thought we were going to get that. And then you find out he's just an actor. And, man, that pissed me off. I almost walked out of the theater at that point. I was so pissed.
I didn't like that either. But again, fuck.
But no, with Wonder Woman, I don't think that Wonder Woman was a bad or terrible movie.
No,
that I disagree with.
It wasn't. It
no,
wasn't a
but
good
you
movie,
said it was
but
a bad
wasn't
movie.
a terrible movie.
I think that the issue with Wonder Woman, a lot of Wonder Woman was, in my mind, really, really great. Where I think it failed was the final confrontation. I don't think that the casting of the big bad.
Okay.
Was,
okay, I'm with you.
I don't think that I just didn't feel that was very believable. And then once you get to the two of them fighting at the very end, it just became this big, like, I don't know.
Did the end of Wonder Woman feel like a Fast and the Furious film to you?
Did it jump the shark in some ways? Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean up into the point of that final battle, like I thought there was a lot of that movie to really like and really love, and I'm absolutely looking forward to the next one. I want to see how they bring Chris Pine's character back somehow, because we all thought he had died, and not only that, but now it's in 1984 instead of 1945 or 44, so he should be like 40 years older, but he still looks the same age, so there's got to be some kind of time traveling shenanigans going on or something.
You see, I was kind of hoping that Wonder Woman would have been a little bit more like Captain America, not the same stories and whatever, but built similarly around it, so you could actually feel for the character. Yes, the Amazons over in whenever I remember watching the 70s.
Themyscira.
Yeah, the 70s show, because there was a 70s Wonder Woman show. I think it was 70s.
Yeah.
And I always used to think Amazons. Wow, she's from the Amazon. No, because that's I never understood it. And now you realize
it's Linda Carter?
No, it's all Greek mythology and bits and pieces.
No. I was talking about the actress that played Wonder Woman. I think was it Linda Carter? God, my memory is horrible.
Dude,
so
off the top of my head,
be lucky
I
if
don't
I remember
know.
that.
I don't know, but it's even in the 70s. I think they did a better job of portraying what Wonder Woman was than what they've done now. But then you see, that's probably nostalgia, because you didn't get to see. Oh, dude, I don't know. Again, DC should be real. World War II was it one? Sorry, World War One was fairly fucking real. Her walking out of the fucking trench in no man's land. You hear, even today, you hear stories about that shit. You just did not go to fucking no man's land, because you would get buried under several tons of shell fire. For someone to walk out of that trench and just go, fuck you, I'm walking out this trench, and then deflect and raid trenches, you've got to have some cojones. And for her to do that, she brass balls on that one. Brass balls. Seriously, big brass balls. But that was the best part of the frickin' film. For me, that was the best part. Walking out of the trench was the best part. The beginning and intro with the pilot landing into the crashing, whatever. Cool, I get that. Yeah, but her learning about herself and her abilities and fighting for people and doing the right thing or whatever, discovering herself within the whole sort of bits and pieces, I thought that was the best part of the film. That middle section. Everything else just tailed off.
There were some pretty good parts in there with Etta Candy.
No,
she was
no,
hilarious.
no. I really think they could have done a lot more with that film, and they used that film to base the franchise off instead of, like you said, throwing the Justice League, just throwing it out there. They've got the first Wonder Woman belt, not the best film, not the greatest film, but it's a popular film because it was better than the ones they've done before. Cool. Cyborg. I really want to see a Cyborg film. Shit, dude.
Well, I thought there was supposed to be. I thought there was one planned, but it got canceled because things like Justice League didn't do as well.
Cyborg's meant to be the Teen Damn Titans, man. Teen Titans could then spawn its own other franchise, but they fucked it.
Well, a lot of mixed reactions on that Teen Titans show as it is.
Oh no, you're talking. Look. Look. The original. You're talking about the. You're not talking about the fucking comics here. I was talking about the. I was talking about the comics. Comics have had various Teen Titans throughout this fucking year, right? I know there's a Teen Titans cartoon that was fairly serious, fairly dry.
I'm talking about the live action show that's on the DC streaming service.
Oh yeah.
That you want dark and gritty, man. Like that's gone above and beyond the dark and gritty. They
put one of the older Robins in a wheelchair because he broke his back or something. Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, he's in a wheelchair, bro. Yeah, he's in a wheelchair. Wait. Oh, have I just spoiled it for you? Have I?
I'm trying to remember when the last episode was that I saw now because I think I've seen the first 2 seasons. Oh, I can't remember.
Starfire, that actress for Starfire, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know what's funny too? My only complaint with her, I didn't care for the curly hair just because I was used to seeing the cartoon
I agree.
version.
It shouldn't be curly hair. It should be straight and flowing down to her back.
Yeah, I was used to the cartoon version, which is the straight and flowing, and then that was something that they changed up for season 2, and I thought it looked really cool. But yeah, I want to see more of that story, which it looks like they're kind of working a little bit in that direction from what I was remembering from the last or the end of the last season or 2. But I think in fact they've set up her sister to possibly be the big bad for season 3. But the stuff they were doing with exploring. Oh man, this is what happens when you get old. Your mind spaces out on things. Raven's backstory. And her dad, Trigon, and stuff like that.
Not a keen.
It was okay, but it was kind of interesting, but
Not keen on the actress for that one. I don't think they cast her right. She acts well though. I will give it that, but I don't think they cast her right. Getting back to the point I was trying to get. I know there's a cartoon version that was good, and they cancelled it because of Bullseye or whatever his name is. Forget the character's real name. One Shot, Dead Shot, whatever have you. And they then brought it like a toony version, like an Animaniacs version of Teen Titans, and apparently that's hugely popular, but universally hated at the same time.
I have a feeling. I wonder if this is going to be the same kind of thing that they're doing with Thundercats Ho. I just look at that and I can't even give it a chance. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Back in the 80s we had Thundercats and that was great for what it was. And then there was 2000.
There was a reboot. There was a small series reboot.
2011?
Yes. There was a reboot.
They did a reboot on Cartoon Network, and it was a much more serious take on it, and it was really good. They changed the story a little bit. But that was okay. Like
they updated the story. They didn't change it. They
updated it. Yeah, but it was very interesting, and I really wanted to see where that was going. They really kind of hooked me in on that, and then it ended because the toys weren't selling well enough. So
Thundercats is an old story, dude. He-Man's an old story. Oh god, Hasbro was gonna bring out He-Man next. You watch.
There is a He-Man movie in the works, but if you ask TJ, it's never gonna happen, because so many times they've scheduled a He-Man movie and it hasn't happened. Apparently, I think, was it Warner Brothers? I think has the rights for it, was going to come out with it, but now they've shifted it off to Netflix. So when the movie does come out, it'll be on Netflix. And the lead actor Noah Centineo, I haven't actually. There's a movie that he was in on Netflix that I wanted to watch, which was I think a romantic comedy or something. I wanted to watch it just to see, get an idea of him and like his acting and stuff like that. But I am curious to see what they do with this film, because there's been a lot of rumors floating around about different scripts, and I hope that they stick closer to the material this time rather than what they did with the movie that came out in, what was it, the late 80s, early 90s?
Early 90s?
Yeah, with Dolph Lundgren. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not that
I'm
that was a
gonna go
bad
early
movie.
90s.
I did enjoy that movie. Even as a kid who was a big He-Man fan, I enjoyed the movie. But I do remember, like, I'm watching it, and they're throwing all these other characters in, and there were a lot of characters missing that were core characters that should have been in there. And it was just, for a kid who was really into it, it was kind of confusing. It's like, wait a minute, who are these other characters, and why are some of these characters that should be here missing? But I will say, like, Frank Langella as Skeletor was awesome.
You just like that Skeletor that's doing the jiggy jiggy dance on the freaking bar top with He-Man. For that, yeah, you just want that. That's all you want. You just want to see Skeletor and He-Man doing the moonwalk and love dancing.
No, that was Dirty Dancing is what it was. That was a hilarious commercial.
That was a brilliant commercial. I don't know who came up with it. It was brilliant. That's all you want to see. That's all you want to see. Getting slightly off topic even further than what we already are. I know that Netflix has a show called She-Ra. It's a cartoon animation, obviously, and it follows the backstory of She-Ra and how bits and pieces. Now it's completely different to how I remember She-Ra. Now I used to watch She-Ra with my sisters because She-Ra was the female He-Man, before something else would show. And if I remember correctly, He-Man came and then he found She-Ra and they realized they were brother and sister, and then he had to leave, but she would stay for the resistance and help against the use of the big bad and whatever have you. This time, there's no He-Man at all. She-Ra's had to go and Princess of Power the whole planet basically, and reunite all the other princesses of Earth, Moon, Sun, Sky. The Power Rangers essentially. Power Rangers? Not the Power Rangers. God, the Planeteers, Captain Planet.
Oh,
basically.
Wow!
Yeah, I'm pulling
Captain
at all
Planet.
the strings.
Wow.
I'm pulling all the strings. There's Princess Heart. There's Princess Wind. There's Princess Fire. There's Princess Water. There's Princess Earth. Princess Flower. So she's had to sort of assemble and then find out what's actually going on within this planet. And I'm just curious to know when He-Man makes his entrance, because
I have heard that they're working on 2 different animated series for He-Man on Netflix. Kevin Smith is actually going to be working on one of them, and it sounds like that one is going to be, I guess, a more, I don't know what the best way to, I don't want to say serious take, but compared to what it sounds like for the 2 versions, that one will be the more serious take on the material. And then there might be another one that is more targeted towards a younger generation, cartoony, and I don't know if it's going to be like the Thundercats Ho and the She-Ra type stuff. I watched the whole first season of the Netflix She-Ra show with my Munchkin, and she got into it a little bit, but we never kind of got around to watching anymore. My biggest gripe with that show is they don't seem to have a clue what a secret identity means. Like, what it means to have a secret identity. Everybody knows that she's fucking She-Ra. And it's like, come on. There's a reason why she had a secret identity. And yet everybody knows who she is. So what is the point? What is the point of...
I didn't think that it was a very well written story. I get the fact that she was abducted by the Dominion?
The Horde.
Okay, sorry, the Horde. I understand that. Dude, see, this is how memorable it was for me, right? The Horde, okay. I get the reason she broke out, because she's realized, oh shit, things are going sideways quick, and the Horde's actually the bads. I get all that, but then after that, the story just freaking took a nosedive off a clip. I really should have had. I must really stop drinking. Took a
Chip
nosedive.
Club?
I tell
No,
you
no,
what,
no, no. You're not going to blame this on the alcohol. I've watched you. All you've been drinking is water.
because I'm suffering from dehydration thanks to the amount of cider I've been drinking. No, it took a swan dive off a cliff, right? And the story really hasn't built itself up again. Now, my daughter is 4 coming up to 5. And whenever she wants to watch something, it's always MLP because the stories, you can actually... Okay, I watched MLP with my daughter, right? I'm a dad. I watch with her.
I did too.
I'm not... You can call me a brony in the making, whatever you want to call it, right? But each and every story of MLP is linked with the other. You can miss 1 or 2, but God, don't miss 4 or 5 because then you completely lost it because there are little bits that happen in each episode, in each story that culminate towards the end of the season. And even that season finale overflows into the next season and that kind of sets the tone for the next season. Whereas this She-Ra one from DreamWorks, I think it's DreamWorks, doesn't make any sense at all. Doesn't.
Well, I didn't go back and watch any more after the first season, and so I can't comment on all that. I didn't particularly care that much for the animation style, but that's probably just because I really enjoyed the animation style of the old stuff. And that was the thing with like My Little Pony. When my Munchkin was smaller and she was watching those, like I liked the way it was animated. And you're right, it is actually still, even as an adult, you can sit there and watch it and be entertained by it.
It doesn't melt your brain.
Right, but I don't know even the whole bicycle short thing, which I know is probably just a stupid complaint, that bothered me because I was like, you know what? If you don't want her wearing a skirt, She-Ra, I'm talking about, because they gave her like bicycle shorts underneath like a half skirt or something.
Was the thing?
That was part of the character design, and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, that just looks dumb. If you don't want her to wear a dress, give her pants, or if you don't want her to wear a skirt, but you wanted her to be a dress, then give her a full-on dress. But the bicycle short thing, I don't know. I just thought it looked dumb. But like I said, that's a stupid, silly complaint in the big scheme of things.
We started talking about the Marvel DC sort of nitty-gritty versus...
This is your fault.
And we've got sidetracked. Where I got sidetracked onto Teen Titans, you've just taken it off and just run with the thing.
Actually, you know what? I say it's your fault, but I think I started going this way with Thundercats, which that Thundercats hoe. The Thundercats hoe is another one that I can't stand the animation on because I really enjoyed.
It's goofy.
Obviously, but I get that, but I really enjoyed what they did with the reboot series. That they were going like DC, a much more serious take on Thundercats, and it was this cohesive story that started off in one point and went throughout the entire season. So that was something I really enjoyed. That's one of the reasons why I enjoyed the Teen Titans animated series. It is a more serious take on those characters, and it's a cohesive story throughout the entire season that you don't want to miss episodes because each episode's covering a part of that story. And, like we were saying before, DC's done really good with their animated stuff. I just don't know why they have so much a hard time transitioning that same kind of thought process from their animated stuff to their live action stuff.
Because it's built, I want to say built by numbers or paint by colors, whatever have you, but honestly at the end of the day, they're just trying to please people on the board, and people on the board don't want an R-rated film going out because, oh no, the ratings, it's R-rated. Hello, Deadpool, one of the most successful films Marvel have put out. Guts, gore, swearing.
But you don't need an R-rated film to tell a good story about superheroes.
You see,
and you do want to be able to bring in the kid audience as well as the adult audience.
I can guarantee you more children have seen Deadpool 1 and 2 than what they have seen the first 2 Hulk films. Guarantee you.
It'd be the opposite here because my Munchkin has seen Hulk, but she hasn't seen Deadpool because she's only 11, but I still haven't shown her Deadpool.
I can guarantee you kids have seen Deadpool 1 and 2. Guarantee you they have. More people have done that. Okay? I can promise you that.
I would say it's definitely more popular.
A lot of the popularity is driven through the children. Who has the control of the expendable income in the house? The kids.
The control of the expendable income.
Yeah. The kids. Mommy, I want that. Okay. Mommy, we'll buy this. Do you need it? No. The expendable income is spent on the kids. Who's controlled that? The kids. So they've wrecked. I honestly think they've wrecked all the seriousness, all the R-rated stuff that DC should really be. You know, to please an audience that isn't there. You know, DC should be like Full Metal Jacket, right? And Marvel, God, Marvel should be like Indiana Jones, which they technically are. You know, DC should be violent and brutal and R-rated.
But see, I think it all comes down. I think it really comes down to the individual characters, like that kind of thing. It works with Batman, sure.
Yes,
he's
in Gotham, the most violent city on the planet.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's not the same with Superman. You know, Superman is always holding himself back, because if he doesn't hold himself back, well, he's gonna punch your liver through the sun, and you're still gonna be standing there wondering what happened. Like, I mean, so.
Yeah, I think my liver needs working out.
But all right, well then, before we get out of here, because I know we should be wrapping it up, since you want to see, and we want to use this to drag TJ back, because I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he would highly disagree with your thoughts.
Oh, but, yes,
but I do want to say,
I've deliberately talked and spoken and worded my shit the way I've done it, and rambled on because I know it just burns TJ's mind, and he's got to come on and correct me.
So then you give your movie pitch for the DC universe on how you would do the DC universe.
How would I do the DC universe if I had to start with a blank slate?
And I'm talking like your idea, your theory of the Full Metal Jacket version of the DC universe.
Okay. I want to say start with Batman. However, Batman's been done to death, so you got to start with a fresh character, completely fresh character, because we all know what Batman's about. We all know what Superman's about. But do we all know what Wonder Woman's about? Do we all know what Cyborg's about? No. You still with me? Yeah?
Yeah.
We got a basic little bit of Aquaman with Eminem, okay? Fucking Eminem, Jesus.
What?
Eminem. He was in the he was with Aquaman. He's not Aquaman, but he was in the film. Oh, you didn't notice.
I didn't notice. You're not talking about the guy that plays his brother. That's not Eminem.
It's Eminem, bro.
No, it's not.
It's Eminem, bro. Eminem was in Aquaman, bro.
No. Okay. All right. Well,
anyway,
keep going.
I'm trying to wind TJ up here. Please just bear with me.
He might actually laugh at that. Can you just see that? Wait. Can you just see that now? Like Aquaman, he like comes down there, and his brother's like talking about, "This is my one shot, and I'm gonna take it." A little bit of spaghetti, up on it.
He's just been swimming 8 miles. Oh God, let's stop there. Right, let's stop there. No, so you have to start with fresh characters. I would, honest to God, start with either Wonder Woman or Cyborg. Keep the Wonder Woman story the way it is, okay? And then build the characters off that. So Wonder Woman, cool beans. We already know Batman has seen and knows of Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman knows of Batman, thanks to the intros and outros and whatever. Anyway, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, father-son story. Deep, emotional father-son story. Wonder Woman, proper war movie. Like a proper, nasty war movie. Cyborg, deep, emotional, father-son story. Mixed in with the... I don't want to fucking stereotype, because that tends to fucking blow things out of proportion. But make it a deep father-son story. Okay? Then you move on to Aquaman. What's killing the frickin' oceans? Plastic. Make it a deep sort of, like, I don't want to say airy-fairy tree hugger sort of story. Make it sort of, he's trying to prevent a war between the water world. I was going to say with Kevin Bacon,
Aquaman,
but it wasn't
played by Kevin.
No, I was going to say Kevin Bacon, but it's not. It's Kevin Costner. It's Kevin Costner, right?
How you threw me for a loop there when you said Kevin Bacon. I was like, what?
No, it was Kevin Costner. I nearly said Kevin Bacon. So you make it like, because ultimately, Aquaman, Yeah, they had a war with the
No.
Surface.
No,
Yes,
no,
and
sorry.
don't you dare say Sean Bean. How dare you? How dare
Sean
you?
Bean plays his father.
How dare you, sir? Anyway, so you make that between Aquaman trying to prevent the war between the underwater and the surface, right? And he's now, trying to prevent this. And then you bring in Superman's story, and then you bring in Batman's story. Now, I quite liked Batman: The Dark Knight and all that stuff with the Jokers in that. But the Joker that's just been launched last year, that was fucking-tastic. I really enjoyed that film because it wasn't a typical take on the Joker. Joker was a freaking gangster that fell into a vat of chemicals, and that's why he's got the fancy goof smile and all the bits and pieces. You know? That's how it happened. Comic books, that's how it happened. This Joker that just got launched now, I think, isn't... Okay, I don't want to piss off the dead, but it's almost as good as the last Joker. And I'm not counting the Joker that had all the tattoos and the shiny Lamborghini. But anyway.
You know what?
No, I'm not going there. He was not a fucking Joker.
No, credit where credit is due. Jared Leto did play a very psychotic Joker, which I enjoyed that part of it. The problem was the costuming. It was so hard to take him seriously as that character.
But he was a gangster, not the Joker. Joker's not a gangster. Joker's a... Okay, Joker is a gangster.
Well, he's a gangster,
but not in the sense he's a gangster, not a gangstar. You know? He's a gangster, as a proper mob gangster, not a fucking gangster with tats and...
I know, and between the facial tats and the dirty South grill that they had him wearing, like it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. So that's how I'd do it. I'd start with either Cyborg or Wonder Woman.
But,
I'd go to Aquaman for a world.
That Full Metal Jacket version of the universe you're talking about.
No.
Yeah, the whole story that they were using for why he had that grill in his mouth is because Batman beat the crap out of him and beat his teeth out, and so he needed some replacement.
Oh, okay. Did I see that happen? No. So therefore, it did not happen.
But just recently, because you were talking about how Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was as good or almost as good as Heath Ledger's Joker, which there was a lot about Heath Ledger's Joker that I really enjoyed.
Jesus,
and,
that was
and he was psychotic, but he was also funny. He was much more in line with what the Joker character I would have expected the Joker to be. But what I did to really enjoy was Joaquin Phoenix recently won an award for his portrayal of the Joker, and he paid his respects back to Heath Ledger's portrayal of it, talking about, I think he said something, I'm going to paraphrase here because it's not an exact quote, but it was something about standing on the shoulders of the work that Heath Ledger had done before him, and I thought that was really cool, that he did that call out.
Was he wrong for doing it? No, he wasn't.
No, not at all.
Because Heath Ledger's... that Joker from that Batman, from Heath Ledger... Jesus, you were actually scared of the fucking guy. Because she's like...
Not only that, but the stuff he did was funny.
The stuff...
Like, I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. Click, slam! Ta-da!
No. That ain't funny. That's deadly. It's fucking...
Yeah, but it's funny as hell. When you're watching it in a movie, maybe I just have a sadistic sense of humor, but when you're watching it in a movie, dude, I lost it. I was laughing out loud at that.
The best part of the film for Heath Ledger's Joker was when they were blowing up the hospital. Apparently, the last explosions was a cock-up. And he's like, click, 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 fucking, let's get gone.
And none of that was in the script because it was a mess up. Yeah,
and they kept
it, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So that's how I'd do it. But you see, I'd also have the anti-heroes in this as well, fighting an even bigger bad, if you know what I mean. Getting back to your original question. So you've got the main group of heroes, and then you've got the main group of villains, and I'd have them all working together to fight an even bigger bad. Because
what I'm not hearing here is your Full Metal Jacket, like how you would take and make this stuff so realistic and gritty and all that.
Oh, easy. Robin dies. Nightwing dies. I mean, who cares about them?
Oh, dude!
I just said that, didn't I?
you realize that is TJ's like favorite DC character. Although with the way that they've treated him in recent years, I think he's already mourning Nightwing. But yeah, he
Catwoman
might
dies. Just kill it.
I wonder if he would. Is he gonna come over to the UK next month and kick your ass for that? I don't know.
Yeah, do that.
Nightwing dies. No, he's actually said similar stuff because he's been so dissatisfied with how they've handled Nightwing in comics and other stories and stuff recently. He's like, just kill him off already. Just put me out of my misery. Is what he was saying.
No, honestly, that's how I'd do it. I'd make one a war story from the World War Ones, similar to Captain America finding himself, all that sort of shit. Cyborg, it would have to be sort of dark and dreary, sort of Harlem, that sort of thing. The oceans, you'd have to go to the Marianas Trench, and you have to do that sort of thing. They're finding, saving the earth, them getting pissed off that the people and children are dying because of the plastics or whatever reason you want to make it up, and them going to launch an attack on the Earth planet. And then because you know all about Batman and Superman, you just bring them in. Because think about it, with Hulk just arrived. Yeah? You didn't need to story about the Hulk, he just arrived. But there were stories about Thor, there were stories about Iron Man, There were stories about the Black Widow, there were stories about
we
Arrow,
have
Arrow dude,
we have that movie with Edward Norton that is still part of the Marvel Universe's overarching story.
Yeah. So you can
and actually I really like that. Yeah, that was more of a akin to like the old Bill Bixby series. Was it back in the 70s? I really enjoyed the way they did that, and I was kind of a little bit sad that they weren't able to continue with that some more. But yeah. I mean, are there characters that don't necessarily need origin stories?
No.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
No, they don't need origin stories because you know all about Batman. You know Batman's fucking origin story. It's been done to death.
Right.
It's been done to... Don't do it again. Superman's been done to death. Don't do it again. You know what he's about. Just don't do it. Just fucking... Yeah. Don't do it.
But
don't
I mean,
bother.
it could be this thing like, yeah, you start out with Wonder Woman in World War One, and then, you build to some of these other characters who start to emerge, and because of the emergence of these other heroes and some of these other villains that are strong, that's what draws Superman to come out in the into public. Batman's been off doing his thing in Gotham, but so yeah, no, had they built it up something like that, I think it could have been far more successful. I think they were playing catch up, and they were in far too much of a rush to try and jump up to where Marvel had built itself to.
They just see the dollar signs and they forget where they come from.
Yeah, because people aren't going to keep paying. The thing is, it's not just about getting people to go see it the first time. That's not where the money is.
Yes.
Yeah, and folks who are like super fans of Marvel movies are going back to watch again and again to try and catch the little things that they missed, the Easter eggs and this stuff, or because they just love the movie so much that they want to watch it again. But if you're only getting somebody to watch it once and then they're just like, that movie sucked, or it was okay, it wasn't great, or whatever, they're not going to go pay that money to go see it again.
Just Game of Thrones, the DC universe, not with the main characters though. Robin's got to die, okay? Because there's so many freaking Robins. Jesus. There's the Red Mask. There's.
I was gonna say, according to TJ, I think there's only like 2 Robins.
No, and the Red Mask.
Because he stops after that. He's like, none of the other ones count.
Wasn't the Red Mask a Robin? Was it Red Mask? Was it the Red Mask?
Jason Todd takes on the mantle of the Red Mask for a little while, if I remember correctly.
But was he a Robin?
Let me clarify. I am not the comics expert. That is TJ. So, but I believe.
Fuck, there's so many. There's 2
because
Robins.
Because there is a thing where they think Jason Todd has been killed by the Joker, and he's off the board for a while, but then he comes back, I think, as the Red Mask or something like that. My memory is so crap. This is where I would point to TJ and have him explain.
There's 2 There's 2 Robins. I know one was mentally freaking screwed with the Joker. Right, there's 2 Robins, one Red Mask and Nightwing, but I know there's other ones along the line as well. I just can't think of him. Was it the Anyway.
Well, now there's the at least if I remember correctly, because I haven't been reading DC stuff recently, but if I remember correctly, the most recent Robin is Damian Wayne, which is actually Bruce Wayne's son with one of Ra's al Ghul's daughters. I think Talia al Ghul. People will probably jump on me in the comments, correct me. Feel free to. Like I said, not the expert. That's TJ.
Yeah, and please, guys, forgive me for my outbursts and madness. I am deliberately saying some things to annoy TJ so that he can watch this in its entirety and then come along and correct me. Because he doesn't enjoy anything more than correcting me and my poor misconceptions of memory and what I want to see the DC universe of. Honestly, it should be darker, it should be bloodier, it should be gorier, it should be R. It should be an R film. Whole series R. Not family friendly. Because that will just make it more popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just honestly, Game of Thrones them, man. Game of Thrones them.
I think that was their thought, and that's why it's ended up where it did. Because they tried to make it darker, grittier. There are characters you can do that with, but not all of them.
No, I'm pretty sure you know most of them. Most of them.
Nobody wants emo Superman.
No, no. Superman. When Superman punches someone, I don't want to see them go, ugh! I want to see the frickin' fist go through the chest. Boom! You're dead. Lie down. Oh, wait.
That's not Superman, though.
But hey, that's Superman I want to see.
That's not the character, though.
You see, I want to see a proper Justice League with a satellite, with a space station orbiting the Earth. I want to see
who knows? We might actually get that someday.
I want to see a proper Justice League where they actually do go into the future, and then you got to see Superman basically running the planet, and Batman being, like, I want to see that film. I want to see that film because then you can quite literally Game of Thrones everyone, apart from Batman, because Batman's the main man. Think about it. Just think about it. You can everyone works together to stop Superman. Superman's the almighty power. And you can literally Game of Thrones everyone, apart from Batman. And you see Batman's soul die every single time one of his friends dies. The Joker. Okay, I wouldn't say use the Joker, but all them bits and pieces, all the people that he's loved. Catwoman. I'm sure he's got a thing for Catwoman. He's definitely got a thing for Barbara. But anyway, never mind. We've got to cut this off here because we've been going off track so many times. Many times. I'm tired.
That's what we do best.
Yes, we do best. We just talk our minds. Right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on our fireside chat ramble along the DC Marvel thing, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Appreciate you sticking with us. As always, like, share, subscribe. We do appreciate it. And we will catch you on the next one.